Hello, YouTube watching peoples, people watching YouTube peoples. Today we're going to be doing a Skill Peer Level 3 Wintertodt guide, standard method. So not solo Wintertodt, not duo Wintertodt, we're going to be doing a standard method. So in the Wintertodt worlds with everybody else getting the fastest XP. First thing we're going to want to cover is our equipment. So just assuming that you've never done Wintertodt before, the things that you'll want to wear are either polar hunter gear, so like I think it's like polar kebbit fur, that gear. Christmas related holiday outfits will work. And if you don't have either of those things, then you can always wear the Clue Hunter outfit, including their Helm of Redwald. Those all count as warm gear, and I'll explain warm gear in a second. For your next slot, you're going to want either a rainbow scarf or a gnome scarf. You don't need any ammo, you don't need any rings. For your main hand, you'll get the Brrrrrrr later, but for right now, you're going to be wanting to use a Staff of Fire. For your offhand, if you have 33 Slayer, you can use a lit bug torch. For normal accounts, you're going to be using a Tomb of Fire. And what warm gear is, so when you go into Wintertodt, it's basically considered a boss fight. And throughout the boss fight, you'll be receiving RNG-based tick damage called cold damage. And what happens is if you don't have any warm gear on, you'll get it more frequently and in higher damage than you would if you're wearing warm gear. So if you wear warm gear, it'll mitigate the damage and slow down the pace in which you receive cold damage. So that should be what you're. As you can see, I'm in full Pyromancer right here. It took me about 220 games of Wintertodt to obtain the full Pyromancer. I'm also 99 fire making now, so I have my skill cape and my fire making hood equipped. So that should be what your outfit looks like. Clue Hunter gear is usually the most common you see. As far as inventory goes, you're going to want to have your best axe, a knife, a hammer, a pestle and mortar, and a tinderbox. What's cool is when you get a Brrrrrrr, you can actually wear the Brrrrrrr, it counts as warm gear, and it replaces you having to carry a tinderbox. So you will no longer need to carry a tinderbox because while within Wintertodt, the Brrrrrrr acts as a tinderbox. So you can light the brazier. You can light the brazier with the Brrrrrrr. To get to Wintertodt, you're going to want a games necklace. You rub thy games necklace, and then you teleport to the Wintertodt camp. Once you're in the Wintertodt camp, you're going to run northeast into the bank tent, as shown. And assuming, I forgot. So depending on whether you're a skill peer or a normal account, you're going to need food. Cold damage is based on your HP. So if you only have 10 HP, then you would do well to bring about 3 chocolate cakes. You only really need 1 to 2 chocolate cakes. Most of the time just 1 chocolate cake for 1 round, but I like to come prepared, so I bring 3 chocolate cakes with me. It's got 3 charges and it heals 5 HP each. I've heard that people use wines, but I don't use wines. I use chocolate cakes. If you're a normal account or if you have like a max account and your HP is max, then you'll be receiving like tick damage in increments of about 16 points per damage per tick. So your food will look different, but I'm not doing a normal account cover. I'm just explaining this for skill peers. But the only thing that differs really is the food that you take between normal accounts and skill peers and unique things like that. So moving on, once you get into the bank, you're going to deposit your games necklace, assuming that you already have your inventory set up, like moi. And then you're going to run north, and you're going to enter the gates of Wintertodt. I don't have time to explain the lore of Wintertodt. However, there is lore, so if you're interested, I would recommend looking it up. When we first get in, I'm going to grab a vial from this crate here so I can show you one of the things that you can do while within Wintertodt. What happens is you'll usually have about 30 seconds, 25 seconds in between each round in which you'll just be sitting here waiting for the clock to hit 0 so you can light the brazier. When the clock hits 0, everybody usually lights the brazier by clicking on it. And then as soon as they've lit their brazier, they run down south or north, depending on which quadrant you're in. There's 4 quadrants. This is the southwest quadrant. Brrrrrrr root. You're going to click on the Brrrrrrr root, which is right here, and you're going to begin collecting a full inventory of Brrrrrrr roots. Now, there's 2 things that you can do with the Brrrrrrr roots that affects how the game goes for you. The first of which is you can just directly feed the roots to the brazier. And at my level, which is 99 fire making, I'm receiving 302 XP per root. It scales with your fire making level. And then the other option is you can fletch your roots, which takes more time per inventory, and it turns the roots into bruma kindling, and you can feed the kindling to the brazier. Now the difference between roots and kindling is the kindling will give you more XP, and it'll also give you a little more than twice the amount of points. So the difference between fletching and not fletching is completely, it's just XP or points. So if you want more XP, you're just going to feed the brazier regular roots. If you want points, so rewards, more rewards, at the end of the match, you're going to feed it kindling. The way the point system works is that once you get to 500 points, you become eligible to receive a supply crate at the end of the match. And I think the supply crate contains about 4 items. Every 500 points past 500 points, the drop count goes up for the supply crate. So I think it's like at 500 points, the supply crate's going to have like 4 drops. At 1,000 points, the supply crate's going to have 6 drops, etc. Then, as well as a supply crate, you also get a amount of XP based on your fire making level at the end of every match as well. What you just saw me doing was collecting bruma herbs from the sprouting root over here, and what you can do is use the sprouting herb on the potion that I picked up at the entrance, and that turns it into a rejuvenation potion with 4 doses. Throughout the match, you'll notice that the pyromancer right here, like you're about to see, will take cold damage. Oh, and he died. So we're going to use... Oh, did he die? No, he's still floating around. What'll happen when he dies is the animation will change from him floating like this, doing his weird little casting thing, to him like kneeling on the ground and begging for his mom or something. I don't know, that sounds kind of harsh, but it's true. When that happens, you'll use the potion on his, like failing body or whatever, and it'll restore him to like half health, and then he'll continue to be able to it'll continue him doing whatever it is that he does to the brazier. If the brazier goes out, you can relight it with your bruma torch or tinderbox. You cannot feed the brazier logs or kindling while it's out, so you want to make sure the brazier is kept lit. Also, occasionally the brazier will break due to cold damage, and that's where your hammer comes in. You just click on the brazier to fix it, giving you a small amount of construction XP if you have a player-owned house, and then you also have to relight it after you fix it, so you just click it again, and then you can begin feeding it roots or kindling. If the pyromancer is dying or dead, he's kneeling on the ground, you cannot relight the brazier while he's downed. So heal the pyromancer, then light the brazier, etc. And I think that's pretty much everything there is to explain about Wintertodt. Rewards for Wintertodt supply crates include things such as the rare phoenix pet, which you see here. This one has it recolored. It's usually orange, but he used firelighters, gnomish firelighters to recolor his pet to a white phoenix. That's everybody relighting the brazier at the start of the match. So yeah, Phoenix, you get Pyromancer gear from supply crates. It's kind of a low chance. I didn't get my full Pyromancer until about 220 successfully completed games. What else is there? There's a 1 in 50,000 chance at receiving a Dragon Axe, so that's kind of cool for Iron Men. Is there anything else? Oh, and then there's a small chance at receiving a Tomb of Fire in the supply crates as well. Other rewards includes things such as supplies, so like seeds, anywhere from magic seeds to like really crappy seeds. The supplies are completely dependent on your skill level. So if you have like base 60s, base 80s, you're going to get better supplies than if you had like base 20s and all your other skills. And that's just how it works. So yeah, I'd show you guys a full game, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think I've explained enough for you guys to be able to dip your toes in the water by yourself. The last thing I'd like to mention is that if anybody is looking for a clan, you're more than welcome to join my friend and I's clan. It's called Ghosts. To enter the clan, you just press the join clan button or join chat or whatever, and you type in 4KNGH05T, AKN Ghost. And it will put you in Ghosts. It's a brand new clan, and we're just looking for new people to start growing and whatnot. There's going to be a structured rank system as well as events in the future. So yeah, alright, you people watching peoples of YouTube, I thank you so much for your time, and I wish you a safe and glorious journey. Fare thee well.